Welcome to the Nursing Dose with your host, Dr. Fair Laurent. Today, I want to talk to you about the three biggest career lies in nursing keeping you stuck and underpaid. All right. So, before we get into it, I'm going to share, like I said, three big career lies in nursing and three tips on how to make it better for you. So if you are a new nurse or an experienced nurse or a nurse entrepreneur, this show is for you. You do not want to miss these tips. All right. And stay tuned till the end because I'm going to share about my business mastermind that you don't want to miss. Okay. For those who don't know me, I've helped over 100 nurses land their dream role in the New York and California area. I work from nurses from all over the US and Canada, making all the way up to 175,000. That's right. As new nurses, making six figures. All right. So if you are interested to learn about how to make more money in your career or in your business, definitely DM me. Okay. So let's get into it. Lie number one, the very first lie that I'm going to share is what so many nurses are currently doing, including what I used to do early on in my career. And that lie is that you need to keep your head down, work hard, and just keep quiet, and you will get promoted. That is one of the biggest career lies in nursing. That is not true, right? You do not get what you deserve in nursing or just in your career in general if you don't ask for it and if you don't promote or market yourself. It doesn't just happen, right? You're not going to just be sitting in a corner and thinking, you know what, I'm just going to work so hard, take all this work on, and I'll get automatically noticed, I'll get automatically promoted, and I'll automatically make more money. That is not true. Okay. And sometimes we're kind of fed these lies to just stay stagnant, to stay stuck, and stay in the same positions that we're in. So if this is resonating with you, put one in the chat. If you're tired of being overlooked and underpaid, put one in the chat if this is resonating. And also let me know where you're watching from, what city, what country. If you happen to be watching the replay, same thing. Drop any comments or questions that you may have in the chat. Okay. So how do you kind of change that career lie, right? That you're automatically going to get promoted or just keep working so hard and they're just going to notice you. Well, what you need to start doing is start promoting yourself in terms of visibility, articulating your value, and making the ask. Okay. So, a couple different tips for all my new nurses out there. You have to be visible. All right. And I mean visible in terms of on social media and in person. So that means going to networking events, going to conferences, going to job fairs, and literally being visible in terms of your appearance is one tip that I have for you. I always talk about showing up with confidence in terms of how you're dressing so that people see you. And if you go to job fairs, you'll literally see a sea of black or a sea of gray or navy blue. You don't really see a lot of color and things like that. Or most people are wearing suits. So if you want to be different, I highly suggest that you wear a different color if you're going to a job interview or a job fair. Some job fairs have hundreds of nurses that are there. So in order for you to literally be seen, you have to dress the part. That's number one. Number two is in terms of your communication, articulating your value, speaking up in meetings, or making the ask and letting it be known that you want to get promoted. Another part, like I said, is on social media. People need to see you. So for all my new grads out there, I have one particular tip. Make an introduction video on LinkedIn. If you need help doing this, reach out to me, DM me, and I will give you some tips on how to do it. I help my clients do this so they can stand out. One particular client, Jamie, she posted an introduction video, which I walked her through this video. Within about 14 hours of her posting the video on LinkedIn and explaining how she was a new grad from the California area and how she really loved labor and delivery. And she, gave a little bit about herself, her background, her experience, and really what she loved to do. What happened was a recruiter actually DM'd her, went into her inbox and said, "Hey, you should apply for this specific residency program." So of course, I helped her through this application process. We went through the prep. We went through the interview questions, the confidence, what to wear, all that. And she got the job. And not only did she get the job, she got the job of her dreams at her preferred hospital in California, making up to $175K as a new nurse, right? So it is possible when you are visible, when you're strategic in your career search, and even in your transition from, job to job. You want to be strategic, all right? So again, if you're just catching this, I am sharing the 3 biggest career lies in nursing keeping you stuck. The number one thing is to keep your head down, to be quiet, and to just keep working, and that you automatically get the job or automatically get promoted. Wrong. You need to be visible, visually, dress the part. And number 2, you need to make the ask and literally communicate and articulate your value so that you can get your dream role, so that you can get the promotion and ask for more money. Most of you are leaving money on the table because you're not negotiating your salary. Okay. So that's another lie. As a new nurse, you can negotiate your salary. You just need to be strategic about it. And again, if you want to learn all these strategies on how to land your dream job or how to get promoted into education or leadership position, simply DM me career and we can take it from there. Okay, so that's lie number 1. All right, so I'm going to move into lie number 2 in just a moment. And again, all these things I personally experienced in my 20-year career, and I was able to transform my career with these tips that I'm giving you today. Okay, number 2, the biggest lie in nursing is continue to get degrees and certifications, and that's going to help you climb the ladder and help you get more money. Okay? Lie. You don't necessarily need to get advanced degrees, become a nurse practitioner, or get your doctorate, because sometimes credentials don't necessarily equal more money or more opportunities. And yes, I'm a big advocate for those who've been watching me over the years for education. I myself got a doctorate, spent quite a bit of money, right? A lot of us spend thousands of dollars, right, going back to school to get our master's or a doctorate. But sometimes you don't see the ROI on that. Okay. And why is that? It's because you're missing a part of it, you're missing a piece. And that piece is strategy, your mindset, and your lack of confidence. Okay? Let me repeat that. I'm not downing certifications or education. I totally support education. However, just getting extra certifications or more degrees does not necessarily equal career growth. And it doesn't necessarily equal more money, okay? The missing piece is strategy, your mindset, and confidence, all right? So these are all things that I go through in my coaching program, and I do one-on-one coaching with my clients, whether you're a new nurse or an experienced nurse, right? You need a strategy, okay? And I don't want anybody to attack me about this, but I know tons of nurses that are out here with doctoral degrees that are still struggling to find a job or to keep a job. Or, maybe you're doing what you love in academia, but you're not getting paid your worth. We all know that this is an issue in nursing. So basically, how can you make more money, right? Again, you have to make the ask and you have to be confident in your strategy, in your ask, so that you can take if you do have certifications and advanced degrees, and leverage your experience to be able to confidently ask for more and stop settling for less. Okay. And this is so important because there are lots of nurses that have advanced degrees, a lot of certifications, but don't know how to leverage their experience and how to confidently show up and ask for more. Okay. So it doesn't mean that you have to settle, right? So that's lie number 2. And if you're overworked, underpaid, and you're tired, put 2 in the comments if you want to learn how to, level up in your career and make more money. And then simply direct message me career, and then just, say that you watched my 3 biggest career lies, and then I will give you some tips and we could schedule a consultation call. So we can chat about how you can level up in your career. Okay. So if this is resonating with you, please put some comments or questions down there, or let me know if this is really helping you. Okay. Another thing that I want to share is sometimes you think simply applying for the position is going to get you that position, but sometimes it's also about building relationships and networking with people. I will tell you firsthand that I've gotten some high leadership positions without even really technically applying for the position at first. It was purely through building relationships where people have actually created positions that weren't not even in existence, but because they've met me, they saw the solutions that I brought, they saw my past experience, my master's in education, my doctorate in organizational leadership, my past experience in emergency medicine as a critical care nurse, and the vision that I have to move the profession forward and, to really help new graduate nurses with their transition of practice and all that type of stuff. They're like, wow, you're what we need for this particular project or this initiative or this role. So this is why it's so important to continue to build relationships, continue to network, whether it's virtually or going to conferences in person, because there's nothing like an in-person conference. And I know this firsthand because actually through my very first conference, just this past March, it was called Nurses Making Money Moves. And it was a conference for aspiring nurse entrepreneurs and nurse entrepreneurs to come together with other female powerhouses in other industries, such as the finance industry, marketing, because I truly believe that nurses need to learn from other industries. Okay. So, like I said, the power of networking and building relationships is even better than sometimes getting that certification or that degree. And again, like I said, I'm not knocking down education. I myself have tons of education and I'm a big promoter of education, but I'm just letting you know, don't think just because you get a piece of paper with the education that you're automatically going to get promoted. Some people think, oh, I'm going to get my master's in leadership, I'm automatically going to get promoted to a leadership position. No, honey, no, not true. You have to be strategic and make the ask. Okay. Another tip that I'll give you, if you're looking for a promotion, you need to know in your organization what is the fiscal year look like when they do their budgets, because they have to budget for particular roles. Okay. And if they're going to create a role for you, then you need to start having these conversations early with your leadership team. Okay, so let's get into number 3 of one of the biggest career lies in nursing. Okay, so number 3 is that nursing is a calling. And as a nurse, you shouldn't worry about money and you shouldn't get into the nursing profession because of money. Lie. Okay. And again, of course, we go into nursing because we want to help the public. We're empathetic, we're passionate. But just because we're empathetic and passionate doesn't mean that we can't ask for money. We are literally putting our lives on the line. A lot of us working on the front lines. I used to be an emergency nurse. A lot of nurses have lost their lives during COVID and various different time frames in nursing. So we need to understand that it is a profession. It is a service that we are providing. So we need to be compensated accordingly. Okay? So do not get your mindset all, twisted and think, well, I'm in nursing. I shouldn't want more money. I shouldn't ask for a higher salary because this is a calling and I'm just helping people. Well, guess what? You need to also help yourself and help your family to be able to create generational wealth, right? And this is why nurses need to start thinking of other streams of income and not just directly working. So I really encourage nurses, and I'm not saying it's for everybody because it's not, but if you are interested in doing something more than nursing, maybe you still want to work at the bedside, that's fine. But maybe you have a urge to write a book, or maybe you want to become a podcaster or start a business as a consultant or a coach. You can make extra money that way. Okay. And this is why I've built the Nurses Making Business Moves Conference. I've switched the name now for 2026 because I want nurses to start thinking in terms of business. I want your mindset to move from an employee mindset to an entrepreneur mindset. Whether you still want to work bedside, you still need to look at different opportunities for growth, how to start building a personal brand so that you can attract more opportunities, whether that's paid speaking opportunities, because you can still work bedside, be a subject matter expert in whatever it is that you're doing, and still get opportunities for speaking, right? But how are you going to do that? It's through building a personal brand, building relationships, showing up and being visible, being a thought leader in the nursing industry, speaking at different conferences, networking, that type of, behavior, and taking action. And this is what I've done over the last 4 years. And this is why I've recently also just, did a recent post, and I said that I'm a nurse architect, right? I help nurses build and design their career in their businesses so that they can grow and that they can get paid. Okay. So if you're interested, like I said, to learn how to work with me, I've worked with over 100 nurses, new graduate nurses in the California, New York area. And everybody says, oh, it's so competitive there. I don't know if I can get, an ICU job or an L&D job or a NICU job. Well, you don't have to listen to me. You can literally go to my website or go on LinkedIn and look at all the past recommendations of nurses that I've worked with. Again, all over the US and Canada, getting into specialty positions as new nurses. And I'm talking ICU, NICU, L&D, ER, all of it, psychiatry, wherever you want to work. Okay. And again, you don't even have to start in the hospital. That's another myth that I'll just throw in as a bonus. You don't have to start in the hospital. You can start in the community setting, whatever it is that your heart desires. Okay. So this is what I'm doing, is coming here, giving value, sharing my expertise, my past experiences, so that you can learn and you can grow and you could stop feeling stuck, stop feeling overlooked, so that you can make the appropriate moves and take action and strategize so that you can actually start making some money moves, right? You can actually start getting paid. So if you're interested to learn more about, like I said, how to grow in your career, DM me. Say that you watch this live and you would like to do a consultation. If you're interested in starting a business, maybe not sure what business to start, I highly recommend to look at nurse career coaching or consulting. So I actually wrote a book called Nurses Making Money Moves, a nurse's guide to starting a business. You can find that on my website, nursefarah.com, and I'll drop all those links later so you can get your book and check out the website. And also check out next year's conference, 2026, March 6th and 7th in Tampa, Florida, Nurses Making Business Moves Conference. And again, this conference will be for any nurse who wants to start a business or wants to grow their business, learn how to build a personal brand, be more visible, and attract more opportunities, more paid opportunities. So tickets are already on sale for that. DM me if you're interested in coming to the conference. And then I have another event for nurses who want to right now start a business. You're like, I don't want to wait till next year. I need to start a coaching or consulting business right now, or I need to grow my personal brand, be more visible. Or maybe you wrote a book and you're like, you know what? I wrote a book. It's not selling. I want to learn how to do that. Or maybe I want to be a speaker, get on stages, whatever that looks like. I'm having a special event called Nurses Making Business Moves Mastermind in Clearwater Beach, July 31st, all the way to August 3rd. And I'll share details with you. Just DM me Business Mastermind if you're interested to go. I only have 2 spots left. So DM me for details if you want a spot in this room. And trust me, I had one earlier in May and it was phenomenal. I will drop, the testimonials if you need to see them for the actual nurses who did attend. Excuse me. And that is basically it. So coming up on 30 minutes almost. So if you have any questions, drop them in the chat now. And let me know if you're still watching. I have Katrina. Let me know where you're watching from, Katrina. Thank you for, showing up today. I also have Piera. Thank you for coming through and letting me know that this was helpful. And she's attended my conference. And it was such a pleasure to meet you in person. And I hope to see you at the next one as well. So I'm going to hang out here for another minute and see if anyone has any questions or comments that I could potentially respond to. And again, for a quick recap, if you missed the beginning of this, you can catch the replay after. Okay, all the way from the Philippines. Thank you for showing up. If you happen to miss it, you can watch the replay from the beginning. But really, the recap is, number one, the biggest lie in nursing is that, keep your head down, keep working, don't make any noise, stay humble, don't brag about yourself, and you'll automatically get promoted if you just work hard, right? Wrong. We need to strategize to promote and market ourselves as nurses to grow in our career, right? And we need to be visible and network. Number two, you need more degrees, you need more certifications to grow in nursing. Not necessarily, because credentials don't equal promotions, and it doesn't automatically get you paid either, right? Again, it's all about strategizing, networking. Okay. And then thank you, Pierre. She says, yes, it was amazing. The conference was amazing. Thank you. And I hope to see you, yes, at the next one. And then number 3, nursing is a calling. We shouldn't go into it for money, or we shouldn't ask for more money, or whatever that lie is. You need to change your mindset about that and reframe your thoughts to think that I am providing a service. This is a profession that's valuable and that you should get paid your worth. Okay. So, again, that's it for me. I will definitely come back later this week with different topics surrounding career growth in nursing and also in nurse entrepreneurship if you want to learn how to start a business. And again, it's already using what you already know as a nurse. You can be a tutor for nursing students. You can help them with NCLEX pass, pass rates for organizations, or you could do one-on-one coaching with nursing students to help them pass their NCLEX. Or like me, I'm a nurse career coach for new graduate nurses, helping them get into positions that they dream about because it is possible. Excuse me, helping them make up to, $175K as new nurses in the California and New York area. And if you want to start a service-based business as a consultant or a coach, it's probably the easiest thing to do because you don't really have to spend any money up front. And it's super easy to start a business. And like I said, you can check out my book, Nurses Making Money Moves, A Nurse's Guide to Starting a Business, on my website, nursefair.com. I'll drop the links below. I'll drop the links for the conference. And then I will also drop a flyer about the Business Mastermind that's coming up July 31st into August 3rd. And again, only 2 spots left. So DM me if you want to join. All right. So that's it for me. Have a great day and I'll talk to you soon. I hope that